no problems. And Powell is well into his running. 5 from the right. He's already getting away. It's Sakari to his left. It's Powell against the clock. Keep your eye on the clock. 9.78. Well, we'll have to see if that's rounded down. But that has equalled the world record. Asafa Powell, the Jamaican. 9.85 in cold, windy conditions. Here tonight, he's produced something even more special, and I think there's more to come. He said that he's been dreaming about running 9.75, Martin, and clearly he's capable of that. This wasn't really a race after all. I'd like to see him here up against Gatlin and Green when they're in great shape, but he's destroyed a very high-caliber fielder, and the place times won't be that bad, even though he wins it by, 3 metres and going away. 9.78, waiting now anxiously to see if it can be rounded down, but he's at least equaled the world record figures of Tim Montgomery, and of course with the jury still out the Tim Montgomery career, so to speak, and with that Balco saga rolling on in the USA, it could be that Tim Montgomery's 9.78 from 3 years ago will be annulled, and he could therefore own the world record with 9.78 all on his own. Well, I've never seen a time rounded up, so I think we can conclude we've seen at least an equaling of the world record. Those.
Welcome to From All Angles, the talk show with a difference. This is your host, Dr. Ingrid Reed, and I must apologize for my two co-hosts, Bishop Dr. Everett Ainsley and Minister Patricia Anson. But today is a very special day, and as you can see, we do things from all angles. Now, we have a very, very special guest, one that is so hard to find, one is so hard to get in touch with. But guess what? We are in studio together, and we are coming to you live from Jamaica, the beautiful island of Jamaica. And you can hear a lot of noise in the background. Today is just one of those very special days. So I know you're going to enjoy this program. Today we have our very, very special guest. This is my spiritual brother, Asafa Powell, and he is Jamaica's darling. I can tell you that much. He is Jamaica's darling. Asafa Powell, welcome to From All Angles. And this is a very special segment. It's a general segment, and it's so good to have you in studio with us. And it's funny. We normally, because I live in the States, so we normally do a broadcast from the United States, and then all our guests, they're from all over the world, but we are live in studio from Jamaica, and I'm here with my brother. All right, Asafa, welcome to From All Angles.
Yeah, man, good to be here. I know you've been trying to get to me for a while, but I'm here. I'm here.
He's here
in the
live.
flesh.
He's here in the flesh, live and direct. All right, Asafa. So I know you're a very busy man and stuff, but let us start from your days in Charlie Mount. Is it Charlie Mount that you used to attend Charlie Mount? Tell us, Asafa, in regards to you're leaving from Charlie Mount to is it UTEC? The UTEC, and UTEC is for University of Technology.
Yeah,
University of Technology, and you wrote something in your yearbook, Asafa, that you became Jamaica's darling. Tell us about that.
Well, at Charlie Mount High School, we're not known for athletics or, they play football, the soccer in the US at the school, but we're not known for athletics. So, the background that I was coming from, it was an easy transition for me because my brother Donovan was one of Jamaica's best sprinters, and I've always looked up to him, from a very young age. So I was just following in his footsteps, and I started running at Charlie Mount, and it was my last year in school that my last year in school, in the yearbook, I written that I want to, when everybody writes they want to be doctors and lawyers and all that stuff, I said I want to be a famous athlete and break records. And it came true.
It came through. Awesome. Now, before we get to the on track, really, at UTEC, what was the transition like actually when you just left Charlie Mount and you entered UTEC? What was the transition like? Because you have been a very saved Christian boy, you grew up in church, your parents are both pastors and you grew up in church and stuff. What was it like as a Christian leaving from high school into university and then, history, we know it's
Mhm.
history from there. What was it like as a Christian
Well,
then?
I think what the difference with me, to a lot of the other guys that went to university.
Mhm,
I'm from very, very humble background, so nothing didn't really, bother me. Nothing didn't really excite me,
mhm,
when I went to university. Whatever I need, I always lean on my parents. I
mhm.
didn't go to my way to find anything or do anything. My parents was always my backbone. So that alone kept me, and I didn't stray away from my roots. Every weekend, gone in my yard, gone home to go to church, to play my guitar in church. And it got a bit more difficult when I became this famous person. But
Mhm,
I never strayed from my roots. That's what kept me grounded.
mhm.
When I went to university, and even when I became a famous athlete, everybody still wonder why. How am I not? You know,
Straying or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So it's just my background. My parents, they really kept me grounded.
Okay. All right, good. And I love that. They kept you grounded. Okay, let us talk a little about you being in church a little. You play just about everything. I don't I mean I want you to tell our viewers all the things that you played in church, all the instruments and stuff.
Well, I started out with the drums,
Mm-hmm.
but then my brother Nigel, which
Mm-hmm.
was the leading musician at the
Mm-hmm.
church, he was going to university for music, and I think he wanted someone to fill his space. So, so he taught me how to play the guitar, the keyboard, So, whenever he's not there, I'm always the one playing the guitars or playing the drums when
So,
he's there.
yeah.
Even when he comes back, I'm always
Mhm.
playing the bass guitar and
Mhm.
he's playing the piano and keyboard. So that's where all that came from. I think Nigel was just trying to find someone to fill his space.
Well, I mean, that's good because it helps at the end of the day.
Mhm,
Because, it's good when you can be multi-gifted and
mhm,
multi-talented,
mhm,
and that's who you are.
mhm,
You're multi-gifted and multi-talented and stuff. And, as I remember, the very, very first time that we actually met, I didn't just see someone that plays the music. I actually saw a minister of the gospel in Usafa. I actually just saw somebody that should preach the word of God, to teach the word of God.
because I look like my father, man.
Well,
My father look alike.
well, you have that thing that God, because you gave speeches,
Mhm,
and I remember I don't remember what year it was when you the first time you broke the world record, because we're getting to that.
mhm, mhm.
The very first time you broke the world record, and then you had a celebration. Well, we had a celebration for you at Mum's Church, the church in
Yeah,
Waterloo,
yeah,
right? Redemption National Church of God. That's the fellowship that they're from, and that branch is in Waterloo,
mhm.
down Ewerton side in
Yes,
St.
St.
Catherine.
Catherine.
And I remember when you got up to give a speech. I still have some pictures
Oh, wow.
from those long time days.
Must look
Uh,
extra young.
you did, but I had some pictures, and you had the mic, and you began to speak. And when you began to speak, you were giving your remarks,
Mhm,
telling everybody thanks. And
yeah.
I'm like, you are preaching. Go suffer, you are preaching. This is it's not like you're on the track and you're running. I was like, go suffer, like Bolt was behind you. Go suffer, run, suffer, run. You were literally like you were giving your speech, telling everybody thanks and showing everybody that you appreciate everything that we have done.
Mhm,
But it's that you were literally preaching. I saw a preacher and I saw a teacher. And listen, we're not going to stop
mhm,
until we get to that day
mhm.
when you're preaching and you're teaching the word of God. All right.
But
So,
what that is, is I'm not I'm not a big talker. So whenever
it's
I open my mouth to talk, I really mean it. I
yeah,
mean what I'm
yeah.
saying. It's coming from the heart,
Hmm.
and so only speak when it's necessary and when it's very
Yeah.
important. So I can see what you're saying. It's just my presence as well.
Hmm.
I'm very approachable, a
Yeah.
very approachable person, and like I said, my background just speaks
Yeah.
for itself.
That's why you're Jamaica's darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do understand that.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt, I know he's in
Yeah.
retirement, but Usain Bolt, has become the fastest man. But
Mhm.
there's something that I really, really admire. You're always humble. No matter what the situation is, Safa, you're always, always humble. But people forget, I really believe that us Jamaicans, not because I'm living in the States, I'm not living here, but I believe whether you're living in the States or you're living here or wherever in the world that we're living, as Jamaicans, we need to be appreciative of each other and
Mhm.
stuff. And it doesn't matter how many records Bolt had broken,
Mhm.
broke
Mhm.
after you.
Mhm.
You are the very, very, very first Jamaican
Mhm.
that has ever broken a world record in the 100 meters. And Jamaica, sometimes we tend to forget
Mhm.
because a new person come on the scene and but I mean we appreciate Bolt, we appreciate all the runners
Mhm.
and stuff, but we need to take our hats off to you because you're the very first. Tell us about that. What did that
Well,
look like?
for me, um, Jamaicans are very ungrateful. Let me say that
You don't need to
they're very
apologize. You do
ungrateful,
not need to
but
apologize.
and they're very proud people,
Mhm.
and they forget very easily,
Mhm.
very quickly. But let me say, I find that the Jamaicans abroad,
Mhm.
they show a lot more love. I think they learn to appreciate
Yes.
Jamaica and Jamaicans a lot more
Yeah.
when they're not in Jamaica. So whenever I go to the States and I see
Mhm.
Jamaicans, it's like they're so excited, and
Mhm.
I'm showing me so much love. And
Mhm.
even on social media,
Wow.
when I look on social media, it's from the States.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Jamaicans from the States, they're showing a lot of love. I
Mhm.
mean, I get a lot of love here in Jamaica, but I mean, they forget very easily, and when a new thing come, they
Mhm.
just jump
Yeah.
on that boat, and I mean, I understand, but it's I don't make it bother me
Mhm.
because there are still loyal people out there, and I still there's nothing that can change what I've done.
Yes.
It's there, it's written in the history books, and there's nothing that I can
Yeah.
change that. So I'm good with it.
Okay, and trust me, man, that makes me feel so much better hearing that coming from you because I mean, if it was some folks, guys, listen, they would have lost. I just can't be bothered. Maybe if it was if you weren't brought up the way you did,
Hmm.
maybe you would have left
Left
Jamaica
long
and
time,
just
long time,
forget about everything
long
because
time.
of the treatment and all of that. But
Yeah.
I really appreciate the way you handle things, stuff. I really appreciate that and stuff. But you are not just the what they call it, the former fastest man
Hmm.
in the entire world. Tell us, how many times did you break the world record?
4 times.
4 times,
Yeah.
and you did it before Bolt,
Yeah,
right?
long before.
Long
Yeah,
before Bolt.
yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man. I was that man who make Jamaicans know that we can stay a yard,
Mhm.
and Jamaicans can break record.
Yeah,
So like I said, it's in the history books.
yeah.
Nothing can change that.
Change it.
I was that man who everybody look up and say, wow,
Mhm.
you can really make a life from this.
Yes.
Jamaicans can really run fast, and I'm very honored to know that I inspired a lot of people. I inspired Bolt, I inspired
Mhm.
Shelley, and
Mhm.
everybody that came after me, and I'm really grateful for that.
Okay. Yeah. Let me ask you. I know this is kind of touchy,
Hmm.
maybe very sensitive, but a lot of people at times, and I didn't like when I hear it because people are different. They react to certain things different, or they acclimate to things differently and stuff. But people always say that when you are on the largest stage, you don't perform as well as you normally do.
Hmm.
Now, I mean, I have my moments.
Yeah.
As a preacher, there are times when I can't preach at a crusade. I'm not a crusade preacher,
Hmm.
Safa. And I'm a preacher that I just get in on Sunday mornings. You ask me to preach, and I will preach. I will preach outside of the big events.
Hmm.
That's my stage.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm not the big stage preacher, right? And but I don't understand why is it that people always label you like you never perform on the
Hmm.
biggest scale, but you know, how do you feel? How do you handle situation when
Well,
you hear
the
stuff
thing
like
is,
that?
it's like this. This is like me being at my parents' house every day, and
Hmm.
then somebody come online and say, hey, I will never see you post a party appearance. You know,
Mhm.
you're never with your parents,
Mhm.
but I'm always with my parents.
Exactly.
You know, people don't know what goes on off the track.
Yeah.
You know, and before whatever
Mhm.
events, people don't try to find out.
Yeah.
You know what goes on before. You know, they only see that one big stage.
Yeah.
They only see you out on the track at the
Mhm.
Olympics or World Championship.
Mhm.
They don't know the preparation. They don't know
Yes.
nothing.
My God.
For me, you know, I've always I think I don't know if it's bad luck, but you
And
know,
we don't believe in luck, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
even bad luck. It's just
yeah. I just looking for the
yeah.
right word to say. But whenever it comes to the bigger
Mhm.
competitions, I think the people around me,
Mhm.
you know, coaches and all that stuff, I think they are the ones who panic.
Mhm.
So they tend to push me a bit harder, and
Okay.
then I get injured.
Wow.
So 99% of the time, I'm always injured
Mhm.
before Olympics or World
Oh wow.
Championships or national trials.
Mhm.
Always injured, and but I think it's just that fighting spirit in me
Yes.
that keep me going. That put tell
Yes.
me to go out on the track.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
a lot of people don't know the pain I'm in when I'm on the track. You know, I'm in so much pain so many
Oh my
times from
gosh.
my legs,
Yeah.
my tear muscle, all that
Mhm.
stuff. But people don't know that. I remember 2012, I ran at the Olympic trials here in Jamaica,
Mhm.
and I ran so easy and ran so fast,
Mhm.
but I tore my groin
Mhm. I think I remember that
in
as
the
well. Yeah.
first round.
Mhm.
The next morning, I flew to Miami to get a shot in my groin,
Mhm.
then fly back to
Oh
Jamaica that same day,
Jesus.
right on the track with a
Wow.
tear groin. All I did was numb the spot
Mm.
to run, and
Mhm.
I went out there and I still because I wanted to go to the Olympic Games.
Yes.
So it's a lot. There's a lot of sacrifices and
Yes.
a lot of pain and stress that we go through, and people don't really know.
Yeah.
They don't really see like I said, they don't see the preparation
Mhm.
or nothing like that.
Yeah. Well, it's really hard, and I can just feel you
Mhm.
because people don't really understand, and I never looked at that. I'm like, you know what, the pressure,
Mhm.
and here you said it because
Yeah, yeah.
you and I have never ever
Mhm.
even never even mentioned anything about
Yeah,
like even talk about
yeah.
stuff like those, but I've always thought that you must be really pressured
Mhm.
a lot more because it's the Olympics
Mhm.
or the World Championship,
Yeah.
and then I mean things just didn't work out. But and then we tend okay, he's going, and then
Mhm.
once he's not like he's getting back, setting back, you're like, Safa, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? And is that I don't know what was going through your mind that time, but if it
Mhm.
was me, man, I would have lashed out.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you grace,
yeah. I mean,
things.
I'm never healthy on the track. Never one day healthy on the track. But like I said, I don't like to talk. I don't like to
Mhm.
complain,
Yeah.
and I don't like to when people say whatever. I don't like
Yeah.
to try and counteract what they say
Mhm.
or to start an argument
Yeah.
or even pay anyone
Mhm.
any attention.
Mhm.
So I'm just always hurting on the track, and you know,
Yeah.
I think we need the negative, to
Help
to
us
keep
grow,
together,
right?
help us grow and keep
Yeah.
us strong.
Yeah. Yeah. It is true, and I really appreciate your honesty. I really appreciate your honesty and stuff. So let's move into something else. We're coming down, guys. This is so interesting. I mean, Asafa Powell, going through this and all of that. But I'm sure that you guys also appreciate the honesty because a lot of times we saw him on the tracks. We saw him not finishing in the
Mhm.
top two or top three. Sometimes it's fifth, and we said, "Come on, Safa." Oh my God, we saw that goal for you. What happened? But guess what? Like I'm sure, like you have folks like myself out there who have always been praying. But you see, we can't tell God what to do. Sometimes some things happen. God knows what's going on with our bodies, and then the thing is, if our coaches, don't do anything, what are we gonna do? You just gotta
Mhm.
just go with the flow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean, not to
mhm,
cut you, but
mhm,
a lot of times when I go through these things like the stress
mhm,
afterwards, like because I'm disappointed as well,
mhm.
because it's not like I don't want to win, I want to win,
Yeah.
but it's just the time.
Mm-hmm.
and the pain and the stress. And I remember, I remember, I don't remember if it was 2008
Mm-hmm.
or what year it was, and I spoke to my mother
Mm-hmm.
after the games, and I tell my mom that I'm questioning God.
Oh,
I tell
wow.
her that I'm questioning God. Why, why
Yeah.
he, because when I'm out there, and I mean, I don't know, was I'm sure everyone is probably spraying or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I always say before I run,
Mm-hmm.
I can do all things through Christ.
Because that's your favorite scripture, Philippians.
Exactly, who
Yes.
strengthened me, and then
Yes.
it doesn't go like I want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I at times I
Mm-hmm.
question God, why is this happening to me? And I remember I told my mom that, and she really put me back in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back, went out there, ran the relay, and
Mm-hmm.
we did great, and I got
Yeah.
back to that person.
You guys have done a lot of great
Yeah, man.
stuff. I remember the year with the relay, the four
Yeah,
by
yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
and you had to anchor the
Mm-hmm.
race, and Usain Bolt is the one that
Yeah,
actually passed the baton to
yeah.
you. Usain Bolt was running behind you. Go Safa, go Safa. And listen, and I was like, I was just going like behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Usain was behind you.
Yeah.
I was behind you. Said, and I'm sure every Jamaican was behind everybody going, go Sapa, go Sapa, go Sapa. I mean, and that year was the year when you guys broke
Yeah,
the world
right,
record with the relay. Oh my God. So listen, guys, we need to appreciate the good things. Now, Sapa, what would you like to say? Because we could, I mean, so before we get into that, we just have a few more minutes to go, and this is so interesting. We might have to have a part two, Safa. We might
yeah.
have to have a
My
part
can
two.
run out of time.
Yeah,
I run
because
out
we
of
cannot
time.
run it out of time. And today is a very special day, for the family. It's Dad's birthday today. Yes, it's Dad's birthday. So we are actually in Mandeville, Jamaica, celebrating Dad's birthday today. So I have to snatch him away just to get this interview out of him. So we might have to do a part two. But Safa, you are married.
Mm.
Congratulations again, my brother. Yes, he's married. Is
Three,
that three
three, and one
children
on the
already
way.
and one on the way?
Yeah.
Yes, three children and one on the way, and I can see the glow. It is
Yeah,
like he's a
man.
young guy just get married. You see?
Yeah, man.
Yes, he's newly married and stuff. But congratulations again. What it is like, quickly, Safa, as a married guy
Mhm.
compared to how you were when you were single
Well, and
and
so
a father as
first, and I mean, I never know I could do it. I was saying to myself that I was gonna be the last one out of
well.
anybody in the world, to get married. But then, I met my wife, and I know that right then and there that she was the one.
Okay.
And from there, just have been, blessing on top of blessing. God has put me in the right path,
Mhm.
and the right frame of mind. But it's not easy, but definitely it was worth the wait.
Yeah, yeah, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And as a dad and everything. All
Mhm.
right, Safa, what would you like to say to somebody, a young lady or a young guy out there trying to have track and field as a career?
Mhm.
What would you like to say to them about that?
Well, let me start by saying I hope this don't let you guys.
No, we're not
I
ready.
don't chase you guys away, but it's very hard. It's not easy. The training alone is very tough, and if you're not strong, you will stop. So it takes a lot of patience. You have people like myself who, the talent, I think I was more talented, than most. So it didn't take much training for me to to to, to become the person I am, but it takes a lot of training to stay the person I was on the track. But for some it takes a lot longer, for them to develop, and to get to that level. So I would say it takes a lot of patience, a lot of dedication, and just willpower.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, there you have it. And let me say that we're coming with a part two with we're going to have his wife with him for part two, definitely. his wife with him. She's actually with
better.
child. Yeah, it's better half. Yes.
Not half, 3 quarters.
The three quarter. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm only a quarter.
Okay, so he said he's only a quarter. Okay, so but for part two, we're definitely going to have his wife with him, and we're going to have a wonderful time. And listen, just stay tuned, guys. So this has been uh, from all angles, the talk show with a different. And as you can see, we're live in studio with Jamaica's darling Safa. I don't care what anybody else say. I don't care who anybody else big up. You're my brother, and I'm not, guys. I'm not being biased, but you are Jamaica's darling,
Yeah, man.
and you have family. Your mama, your dad, your entire family, your brothers, your nephew. The entire family that is behind you. In part two, we're definitely going to talk about that retirement thing. All right,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to talk about that
Yeah,
retirement
man.
thing in part two. All right, guys. So this is your host, Dr. Ingrid Reed, and I want to say thank you so much for joining us from all angles. The talk show with the difference.
Let me say
You said one more.
one more thing, guys. I'm not short. I'm 6'3".
He's that's I always thought you were short. Oh my God, he's 6'3". Yeah, he's tall.
Alright.
Okay, guys, bless you guys, and tune in for part two from all angles, the talk show with a difference, with our very special guest, Asafa Powell.
There you go.
Here you go.